We'll deal with that, guys. But the real thing we want to talk about, man, the real thing we want to talk about, okay? Freddie Andersen and Jack Campbell. Notice I'm switching it from versus, okay? Because this is not a competition. This is not a war. This is not a debate. I don't understand why everyone's so upset. To everyone out there who is dying to tell me, hey, I told you Jack Campbell's our starter. I never said he wasn't, right? I'm very careful in my hockey analysis not to use absolutes. So, unless I mean them. So for example, Hutchinson should never be an NHL goaltender again, maybe a backup at most, and that is stretching it. But he should never be a starter. And mark my words, if Hutchinson ever became a starter on another team and crushed it and won a Vezina, I'll have to eat those words and I'll stand by that. I'll go, yeah, you know what? I screwed up. I said that, and then look what happened. He ended up proving me wrong. I've said stuff about Phil Kessel, and the man has proved me wrong. He won 2 cups after leaving here, right? I have to admit that, okay? But I never once said that Jack Campbell could not take Freddie Andersen's spot, should not take Freddie Andersen's spot. I don't care. If someone shows me a map of the future right now and says, with Freddie, you make the playoffs, but you lose, or Campbell, you're definitely going to win a cup. I mean, what do you think I'm taking? I'm not stupid here. Alliances to no one but the cup in the end, right? It's a business, and that's the way it's got to be. All I've ever tried to say is that people speak in absolutes too much, and when things are going wrong, they want to point it at one person in this town, and it drives me crazy. It's not just goaltenders. We've done it to guys like Jake Gardner in the past. Didn't deserve it. I think we've done it to Christopher Stieg before too. Didn't really deserve it. Guys, these guys don't deserve that, okay? I mean, if they're wearing the blue and white, they get our support as far as I'm concerned, right? So I don't care if it's Freddie Andersen, Jack Campbell, I don't care, okay? But I don't speak in absolutes. And certainly when I was looking at the situation, and I still did not see many improvements in the areas I want to see in that game against Calgary, the last one there. So what? We got a shutout, big whoop, right? Calgary didn't put up much of an attack. They were very defense heavy. Right, so maybe they're just trying to sort out that. They got a new coach. They're trying to work on the defense systems first, perhaps. So they weren't worried about trying to get a whole bunch of offense, and the Leafs capitalized. You know, I did not think Campbell looked much better, if at all better, than Freddie Andersen. And I know some of you guys are going to talk about that save that he slid like this. Whoa, slid, kicked the pads up, old school styles, right? Huge save, desperation save. That's what we want to see. You want to see a guy out of position? Because that's what that was. Right? And I'm fine, because what I like about Campbell is that if he finds himself out of position, you know what I mean? He can still find a way to get it done. He can still find a way to pull off an insane move that's unorthodox and everything like that, okay? But the trade-off there is, if you've got a guy whose style is that, you're going to sacrifice a bit of being square to the shot. And I find oftentimes with Freddie that, like in a situation like that shot, he would have been square to it in the chest and nobody would be talking about it. Not the people for Freddie, not the people after or against Freddie. Nobody would be talking about a save like that if he was the one in net for that shot, right? But we talk about the ones that he let in instead. So this one, it looks obvious to the eye, right? When you see a guy flailing around and somehow still manages to get it. Oh, Vezina winner for sure, right? Nah, not necessarily. Like I said, to me, it looked like he was out of position, and the only reason it was desperation is because he probably should have been there. But mark my words right now, good for him for getting this shutout. I love the guy, okay? And I've always liked him. Here's something I really love that he does. Ever since he joined this team, what I love about him as a backup too, it's great to have this personality. He'll make a save, simple enough, whatever like that, right? A D-man will be in front of him, boxing out somebody so they can't get a second or third opportunity. And the whistle blows, and what does Jack do every time? Looks up to the nearest guys around him. On his side, little taps to the pants. Hey boys, good job. You know what I mean? Hey, nice one. Thanks for that, you know? I love goalies that are like that. As a defenseman, I always preferred playing for goalies like that. Some are strong, silent types. Freddie may be that. You know, Freddie may be that. Strong, silent, stoic. You know, I don't know. I don't know what he's like on the ice. But you can clearly see Campbell's the kind of guy that is basically like almost like a secondary coach out there. You know, he's sitting back, he's watching it, he's figuring out how things go, right? And then, you know, if he makes a save, whatever, he's talking to his boys, he's getting them in it. I love that stuff. It's very motivating when you're a player. Very motivating. That's something a good goalie can do, right? That is something that is not on every rookie's mind, not on every backup's mind when they hit the ice. Sometimes they're just trying to hold on for dear life. Campbell's enjoying it. And when he's enjoying it, the rest of the team's enjoying it. I'm a firm believer that this is a game above all else. This is a game, right? And if the players are having fun, they have the best chance at winning. They still might get beat by a better team, but at least you know you saw the very best that they can do. And the Leafs get very in their own heads, and when they start doing poorly, they're not having fun anymore. They have forgotten how to have the fun to get back, right? Or maybe they just haven't learned the skill yet. I don't know. But a guy like Campbell, I can see in the chat there, is like a quarterback. Yes, you know, he controls the mood of the guys. I love that about him. He's a great goalie, all right? But we haven't seen enough of him to know if he's going to be a great starter, and you got to understand the difference. So don't speak in absolutes, to go back to the theme of tonight, okay? Don't speak in absolutes, okay? You've seen the small window size of Campbell right now, and it looks great, and it does. Good. I want him to do great. If he won a Vezina this year, I'd be the most happy guy in the world. You know what I mean? That would be awesome. It's not about making it versus this person or that person. Why are we choosing sides, you know? It doesn't make sense to me. They're all Leafs in the end. We want them all to do well, okay? I want them to do well. You guys in the chat want them to do well. It's clear we want them to do well, right, guys? So if it's a situation where for whatever reason, the players are in a better mood and therefore perform better when they've got Campbell in net instead of Freddy, hey, by all means. Me personally, from what I was thinking, is I've always thought that it was because they have too much trust in Freddy, because they've seen what he's capable of in the tough times, that they chance the offense more, right? They're more willing to make a push or choke up on the blue line rather than cover a breakout pass or something in the opposing zone, because they know they got Freddy back there. And it's like, especially if he's hurting, which, by the way, he shouldn't be playing if he's hurt at all. So I don't really think he's all that hurt. I think they're kind of like trying to protect him a little bit in the media and everything. And good for them. Why not? The media is vicious in this city, right? So I don't mind them protecting him a little bit. But, I mean, that's what I think it is. I think the Leafs chance it more when they're in front of Freddy, because they know they got a guy that's good back there. They don't know much about Campbell either. So, you know, you're going to be a bit more nervous. You're going to want to make sure he's protected. That's how they should be treating Freddy. Okay, now, even if they treated them both the same, Campbell could still be the better goalie, guys. This is not a debate of me saying right now, oh yeah, don't think that Campbell's good. I mean, the Leafs are just bailing him out. Why is everybody so black and white on this thing? It's blue and white, baby. All right, it's blue and white. That's all we care about, right? So that's all I'm saying, is that if the Leafs are playing different in front of a guy like Campbell, okay, and it's working for him, cool, I'm down with keeping it going. But just know from experience, watching the Leafs, okay, this is not my opinion, this is what has happened in this city, okay, is that if they're not careful, they could end up putting Freddy down mentally, make him not want to be on the team anymore because he feels he's being slighted, because you don't know what conversations have had or have been had behind closed doors. You don't know if they were the ones pushing him the whole way, saying, look, we need you, you got to get out there. You don't know, right? Like getting through an injury. Maybe he's rushing back to the injury sooner because they were pressuring him, right? So now they're trying to protect him and stuff like that. You don't know what conversations are being had, right? So I just want to see who's going to roll with it the best, right? And for right now, yes, it's Jack Campbell. But just remember, guys, there's a big difference between being good for 3-4 games in a row and being good playing every other night, most nights, for the next month. There's a big difference. And you don't know what Campbell's done. That's all I'm saying, okay? Other goalies, if you brought another goalie in right now and they were a starter, you could compare careers. They've been a starter for like 4 or 5 years, whatever like that. You've got enough of a sample size to know at least what they have been so far, right? We don't know any, this is a statistical anomaly. And honestly, the part of this that's most frustrating is that there's a bunch of people out there right now who think that like they are geniuses because he got a shutout. I told you, I'm a genius. I know hockey. He got a shutout like I said he would. He should be the starter. Cool. You know what you just did? You took all your chips and you bet them on black, or you bet them on red. 50-50 shot. You know what I mean? You're making such an absolute statement when you're analyzing sports that you're either right or you're wrong. And what that means is that could have easily gone the other way, 5-0 against us, and then you'd look stupid. Right? The same way that some people seem to think I look stupid for backing Freddy this whole time. But never forget, I never discredited Campbell, I just said we don't know enough about him. And actually, if you look at his stats on LA, they were not that good. Now, there could be a million different reasons why that is. I know that. I'm the one that preaches that stats don't tell the whole tale. So maybe there's a reason, a good reason why he never had the stats that you'd like to see when he was playing behind Quick. I don't know, right? But just remember when you say things like, it cannot get any worse than Freddy. Really? Really? Because I've seen a lot worse than Freddy. I've seen a lot worse than Freddy right now in this league. I've seen a lot worse than Freddy on our team in the past decade. Like, what are you talking about? Not worse than Freddy. You know, so what we really want to see, guys, is we really want to see them work together for now, right? We want to see whatever the team needs the most. And that's the stuff that, like, I like to analyze after the fact. You won't find me making a lot of clear-cut decisions. If you look at my wording, I don't care how passionate I am. If you really, like, focus on my wording on these things, I like to keep things open-ended because I always see two possibilities to every story that goes on with this team. I've seen them both, and I'm wondering what the fork in the road is when we get to a situation like this. And the situation right now is clear. Either, here's the two, right? The Leafs are going to figure out a way to use them in tandem until at least one of them is like producing as a star, right? Or what's going to happen is they'll use Campbell for a bit, and I pray that he doesn't do this. But if he lets in 3, 4, 5 bad goals over the next couple of games and they lose 3 straight, or 4 straight, and everyone's like, oh geez, and then they go to try and put Freddy back because it's like, we need you, bud, we need you, like we screwed up, we need you back. That's not good for him either, because he's like, well, now you only want me back because you think he sucks too. You don't want me back because you think I'm a star. You want me back because you think I suck less than him. That's bad for a goalie, man. It's so mental to be a goalie. I highly recommend you guys try it sometime, even in a beer league pickup thing. Just strap on some pads and get out there once. I'm telling you. All right, so it's not about this person versus that person. It's about them both together, right? They're either going to work together and they're going to come out the other side of this thing a better team because of it, or this thing is going to systematically break down our goaltenders to the point where neither of them are good. And I've seen it. I've seen it multiple times. That is more likely. Statistically, it's not often you have the underdog at 30 years old or whatever figure out a way to become a starter in the NHL and win himself a cup. Okay, it can happen. It has happened, and I love those stories. And you know what? Even if it's 2% chance, it's a possibility, and I will be the happiest if something like that happens. Right? So, one or the other is not about that. It's about both. Okay, are we good? Did I clear that up enough for you guys? Nice, Steelers, that one was for you. So please, when you guys are debating this with each other, do not lose it. There's no reason to lose it over this. It's not a debate. It's not a discussion. It's just what the team needs right now. And I can still be right about how I feel about Freddy and agree that he needs to not be in net right now. I can do both. And so can you. Right? Because everything has two possibilities. And you just hope that the right one is coming out. I trust the boys. I trust Keefe. I trust Dubas. They know this stuff better than I do. That's why they get paid. They're professionals, guys. They know more than you. They know more than any of us in these chats and everything like that, okay? And yeah, again, and there you're saying you're a goalie and you know that it's tough. All right? Well, anyways, guys, that's why I wanted to get to this. I know I'm going through all the tech and everything like that. We're resetting up and everything in the new crib. I've been loving it. It's just been a blast. And to be honest, and a lot of it wasn't even technical stuff. It was just a lot of work to be done and a lot of stuff that I wanted to be with my kids for. You know, it's a big special moment for them. It's a special moment for us. It's a whole new chapter of our lives. So as much as, yes, you can clearly see I am having some tech issues here, I can't claim that that was the only reason I haven't been on or haven't done the one after the last Flames game or anything like that, okay? So hey, maybe one day, Huxley, you'll get the virtual tour. Maybe we'll do that when everything's done up. Right now there's just boxes everywhere, so forget that. Besides, I'm not sure I want to show any of you maniacs where I live. Come on now, right? It's the internet after all, okay? So who starts next game? Yeah, I'm on board for Campbell, but honestly, if they go back to Freddy right now, I'm happy too. I really am. I'm confident that either one of them can get the job done because they don't suck. Neither of them suck. None of the forwards or the defense suck. They just have been playing like garbage. And I wish people could understand the difference. Suck means you can't play any better. That's as good as you get. You want to know who sucks at hockey? I suck at hockey. Put me on an NHL rink, okay? I suck. There is no getting better than where I am right now. That is it. And it's nowhere near where it needs to be in the NHL. The Leafs, all of them across the roster, have been playing at a level that proves that they belong there, that they deserve to be there. They just have not been playing there right now, and they will get back, okay? They will get back, and so will we, and all this stuff is going to be great, and we'll be there after the next game as well, too, okay? And yeah, you'll track me down still on my Leafs merch. Pfft, I don't have anything valuable. I just have cool stuff. You guys will see. It's nothing valuable. You know what I mean? And I'm not like that. I'm not a huge collector guy. I just have stuff that means a lot to me because they were there for moments, you know? Moments are always the best, right? And that's what all this is, okay? Even that moment we had at the beginning there, all that tech stuff, which will not make the YouTube video, by the way, but straight up, like, you know, that's a moment. We had that together, okay? All you folks in the chat and me, that was embarrassing and yet funny at the same time. We can laugh, right? So I would normally get to a whole bunch of comment reading and everything like that right now, but I still got like a major project due for school. You know, we've got boxes galore to unpack and everything like that. But I just didn't want you guys to be waiting any longer because unfortunately, as this all went down, one of the biggest topics that people want to talk about for the Leafs happened, and I did not have time to cover it. Did not have time to find out what you guys are thinking about it. So please, by all means, keep going on the Instagram stuff though. That's where I really see a lot of your comments, right? And I love to see all the passion and all the debating and everything like that. All right, trust me, I do love it. So just be cool to each other, but debate away. All right, because there's no wrong answers for a lot of this stuff, right? There's only which one is going to be the right one, and that's where we all are right now. Okay, so straight up. All right, love you guys and take it easy. I will be in touch soon. Okay, after the next game for sure. Okay, peace. I swear this new camera really shows how bad my skin is. Ugh. Anyways, guys, make sure you subscribe, okay? This thing is growing bigger and bigger, and you won't want to miss the chaos that the true believer will find himself in. I'm the most unique NHL 21 channel on YouTube. I dare you to prove me otherwise. Bye!